Welcome to another episode of the Antifragility Reframe podcast, where struggles become strength and stress fuels growth. I'm Dr. Frank L. Douglas, your host, and today our guest is an Emmy Award winner with successes in TV, films, cartoons, and he will share with us an episode in his youth, a near-death episode, which led him to lead what I would call an anti-fragile life. Mr. DeCarlo, welcome.
Dr. D, it is a pleasure to share the internet with you, sir.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to share your tremendous wisdom with us.
Let's not get it. At least do this when you say tremendous.
Well, it is well established and documented, so I am standing on firm ground here.
Okay, all right.
Yes, thank you for that. Your best-selling book, or one of your best-selling books, is entitled The Fork on the Road. Would you tell us a bit why the fork on the road and not the fork in the road?
Yes, I hosted a food show on the Travel Channel for 150 episodes for 5 years. And we would go into, I've been to 400 cities in America, Puerto Rico, DC, Alaska, everywhere in America I've been and slept and worked. And we would visit entrepreneurs and founders of restaurants, of food service places, of travel attractions. And I came to realize as the series rolled on that you could tell a complete history of America, certainly, and the world through the lens of food, right? Hunter-gatherers started following people, following animals around. Then we learned how to plant stuff. Then we learned how to do macro farming and food. Every time you go on a vacation, what's the first thing your friends ask you when you get back?
Okay.
What'd you
What
eat?
to eat?
Right?
Yes.
We were just in Rome 3 months ago, and my wife and I we were talking about it on the whole plane ride. Oh, we have to go to this place, that place, because food is the expression of the soul of the place, right? If you go to New Orleans, you will have a better meal in a gas station than in many restaurants around this country, and I'm not even kidding. Food is it's a unifying thing. Everyone eats and everyone enjoys it. And the people that run little restaurants, right? The places that we went weren't mega chain places. They were mom and pop Thai restaurants in mini malls or little Italian places in Omaha or uh, fish places up in Alaska. They do it because they have a passion for hosting people and feeding people. And what occurred to me after I had met about 200 of these people is that they were all very different, but they all had one trait that was the same. They were positive people living a life that made them happy. And that was their number one goal, to live a happy life. And the way they did it, these people, was to run a restaurant, which doesn't get you rich. The margins are really narrow and it's hard, 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. oftentimes. But the joy they got from seeing people enjoying their grandmother's meatball recipe or bok choy or whatever it was, that fed their soul and it made them happy. And I see so many people in America who are chasing the wrong thing. They're not chasing happy, they're chasing cars or relationships or money. And they think all those things will make them happy. And, if you get lucky, they might, but if you're chasing happiness, you're gonna catch what you're chasing. So the fork on the road it's a play on words because I would eat everywhere I went. So it was a different fork in a different city every episode, three or four different cities every episode. But the one constant was the pride and the love people felt for feeding someone. You are what you eat. And when you have a truly great meal, you remember it forever.
You talked about happiness in the book, and I think there are two things that I gather that are very important to you, and that is purpose and happiness. And my understanding is that the near-death experience that you had as a youngster was probably that point in your life that transformed the way you looked at life, thought about things, that really reframed the way you looked at things. Could you share some of that with us and tell us how that shifted your perspective?
Sure. Yeah. From fragile to not fragile, which is why
Yes,
I'm really
absolutely.
thrilled to be at your show. Most people don't have their midlife crisis until they're in their 40s or 50s. But I had an experience when I was in high school. I was at track practice. I got hit with an errantly thrown 16-pound shot put, hit me in the back, broke my ribs, popped my spleen. Didn't know it, but I was bleeding internally. They got me to the hospital. I had emergency surgery. I was unconscious for 3 or 4 days. And I remember this so vividly. The first day I woke up in the ICU unit, the doctor who I guess had done the surgery sticks his head in the room and he goes, "Oh, you're awake. Good. Another 10 minutes, we would have lost you. See ya." And that was like, those were literally the first words I heard when I came to. I'm a high school athlete, not thinking about death or decay. You're Superman when you're a high school athlete. So to go from that to being 10 minutes from dying shook me to my core, and I realized, man, I could literally die any day. And it wasn't this ephemeral idea, it was fact. It had been brought home to me in my real life. And I decided there, laying in the bed with stitches all up and down me, that I was not going to waste time anymore. And I was going to make it my business to be happy every single day. And at the time, I weighed 260 pounds. I was a fat, fat kid in high school because my Italian grandmother knew how to cook
Mhm.
really well. Um, and I wasn't getting dates. Girls wouldn't talk to me. My pants didn't fit. My pants would all wear out in the thighs because my legs were so fat they would rub together. I hated going shopping for school pants every September because I would have to get a bigger and bigger. I had size, I think a size 50 waist,
Oh,
50,
wow.
52. I was fat.
Yeah.
And so I'm laying in bed going, all right, well, I don't like being fat. I've tried diets in secret before because I'm embarrassed that I'm fat. I'm going to try something different because, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. So this time I got out of the hospital and I told everybody I'm going to lose 80 pounds by my birthday in 5 months. I told all my friends. I told all my friends in the drama club, all my friends in the marching band. I told my female friends that were on the girls' cross country team. I'm going to do this. And I asked the girls on the cross country team, can I run with you after school? Because I can't keep up with the dudes. And they were really cool. You're always afraid when you open up to other people that you're going to be ridiculed or mocked.
Yeah.
And everyone was really nice to me because I guess they could see that me losing weight was a good idea when you're and you got a 52-inch waist. So I started running with them. I ate less. I exercised more. And every decision I made from that moment on to today, my filter is, will doing this thing make me happier or less happy? Eating this pizza, it's going to make me happy now, but it's going to push me further away from my goal. So maybe I don't eat the pizza this time. And I was about 80, 90% dead on for that time period. And I lost 80 pounds. I've been in shape ever since. And that experience taught me two really important things. Number one, the most important thing people need to determine, and you can only do this for yourself, is what's your purpose?
Mhm.
What are you on earth to do? Um, and the only way you do that is by trying a bunch of things and crossing things off your list. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. Ooh, that was really fun. I'll do more of that. So finding your purpose, and then once you find your purpose, find a way to make a living from doing that purpose. As far as I know, we get one life. So if you're not happy or you're not as happy as you think you want to be, understand that you have the keys to change your life. You can do it. The same way that I changed my life, the same way that making good decisions changes things. If you want to be happier, just decide that you want to be happier, and then you will be if you stick to that plan. But first, you have to decide, what's your purpose? You found your purpose, Dr. D, doing
Yes.
this thing because you're good at it, right?
Yes. Well, and I enjoy learning more, and each time I do it, I learn something more, and
Hmm.
it's exciting. And what's important about it, which is the core of what you do, it is beneficial to others. In fact,
Right.
when friends of mine suggested after seeing my methodology, my reframe methodology, they said, you should do a podcast. And I said, look, everybody and his father has a podcast. Why would I want to do that? And then I reframed my thinking and I went back to them. I said, you're right. One thing I can do is I can invite interesting guests who have had experiences either themselves or with their clients in which they changed perspectives, in which they came up with solutions that really helped many, which is one of the things you do, in SCADs. And these are the things that help to make people anti-fragile, change
Right.
perspective, multiplying benefit, and helping people to grow. So as we wrap up, what are two or three nuggets you would leave with the audience?
The biggest and most important nugget is don't be fearful. Approach life fearlessly. If you're not happy in your job or your relationship or your situation, understand that you have the power to change it because you're the person that got you into the situation in the first place.
Mhm.
Your choices up to this point put you here today. And some of the choices were good, some of them may not be bad. Don't hate yourself because you made bad choices. I do that all the time. Everybody does it all the time. You're not special in that way at all. But if you want to engineer a happier life for yourself, you got to start changing things. And the first thing to do is figure out what makes you happy. Make a list of the 10 times that you were truly happy in the last year. What were you doing? Just think back. Man, the last time I was really happy, I was on a boat or I was jet skiing or I was drawing, whatever it is. And look at that list. And if seven of those 10 things are all similar, that's what you should be doing. So that's your purpose. Now, figure out a way to make a living doing those seven types of things. And that'll require extra work. You're working your day job. Don't quit your job until you have a better place to go. But at least once you know what your purpose is, you have a direction to head and you have a North Star to follow. And be fearless and respect yourself and understand we all die. So do you want to be laying on your deathbed and going, oh man, I worked at that place 40 years and I hated every single day. And now I got a pile of money that I can't use because I'm dying.
And you can't take with you.
Right. So the most important thing is to be happy. The trick is everyone defines happiness differently, right? So you can't go on YouTube and learn how to be happy. What you can learn is how to pursue and discover what makes you happy and what makes your purpose special. And then once you know that thing, I know what my purpose is, and I spend 98% of my time doing just that. That's it. And that's good. I love it. Even the days when I audition for a show or someone turns down a screenplay, it's better than me working in a cubicle somewhere because that would not be good for me. Some people love working in those environments. Thank goodness. My Aunt Cookie used to say, not everybody could be a fireman. You got to find your thing and pursue it like it's the most important thing in life because it is. That's it.
Thank you very much. And to the audience, I would wrap up by saying what we've learned today is not just don't worry, be happy, but be fearless, be happy, find your purpose. Thank you very much, Mr. DeCarlo.